This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow man-child Johnny Karlic. And we are back for the Rick and Johnny podcast right here on Most Valuable Podcasts, where, Johnny, we're talking about basically everything under the nerdy suns. I think that's the shortened way of how we're going to start describing the podcast.
Yes.
We kind of hit everything in the nerd culture world. Got a jam-packed show for you guys, but before we get into everything, a little bit of housekeeping here at the beginning. If you like what we're doing, you like the podcast, make sure to check out Most Valuable Podcast Patreon page. That link down below in the description. We have a bunch of different tiers. At the $10 tier, you could join a Rick and Johnny podcast if you so choose. We also have a store link down below in the description, mostvaluablepodcast.com, where you catch everything for MVP each and every day. And then last but not least, if you're on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, make sure to give the Rick and Johnny podcast a 5-star rating and let us know. Type a little something in about why you like it, so someone looks at it, reads it, and goes, hey, maybe I should check this podcast out too. But Johnny, got a jam-packed show, like I said. We're talking Call of Duty news because Call of Duty came out with some big news, a big reveal this week. Going to be looking at Batman. Michael C. Hall from Dexter was like, hey, I'd like to maybe play Batman in the future. Going to look at that. Then we'll look at Daredevil Season 3. Bullseye will be in it. How does he fit in? And then we're ending things out with an Avengers 4 rumor that the Skrulls could be in Avengers 4. But let's jump into our first topic, looking at Call of Duty. And the reason why we're talking about this is, first off, everything that people have said, we talked about it 2 weeks ago, is true. Call of Duty will have a Battle Royale mode. And from the GameSpot article where the news came from, it says, dubbed Blackout, the new Battle Royale style mode pits players against each other in a fight to be the last one standing. On the official Call of Duty website, Activision revealed that Blackout will be playable solo and in teams, just as Fortnite and PUBG. Where it differs from other Battle Royale games, however, is it draws heavily on previous Black Ops titles. Developer Treyarch says it wanted to create a Battle Royale mode the Black Ops way, and that's in quotes, the Black Ops way. And to that end, it has incorporated elements from the entire series into that mode. According to Treyarch, the map is Blackout. The map in Blackout is the biggest one the developers have ever created. Some of its locations are old maps taken directly from past entities, and players can use weapons and items from every previous Black Ops game.
Wow.
Including the RC car. The map also features land, air, and sea vehicles, and players can play as Hudson, Reznov, Mason, and other characters from the series. Treyarch says it is still undecided on the number of players Black Ops will support, or Blackout will support. What do you think of this? All this news that we just read about the new mode Blackout, what are you thinking about this Battle Royale?
I mean, it's not usually my cup of tea, but I think it sounds awesome. I'm trying to think what I was going to say about that. I mean, of course you're going to make the map bigger. Obviously, you're going to have to. If you have like 50 people on a map, you don't want it to be with the size of a normal Black Ops map, because everyone's going to be on top of each other.
Exactly. Especially some of those like smaller maps, like Nuketown.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine Nuketown with like 50 players in it?
Yeah, nope.
50 to 100 players in Nuketown.
The first like 2 minutes is going to be just pretty quick.
Yeah. Especially if it's rockets.
Yeah.
Rockets or grenade launches.
Just firing into buildings.
That's all it would be. But to me, the most important part of this is I've got one question and then one thing I really like. First, the thing I really like, and this is what differs it, because the one thing I started to think about after we talked about it 2 weeks ago was it's great to say, oh, you're going to do a Battle Royale mode. But to me, if you're going to jump and piggyback off of a style that's already been done, how are you going to make it your way? And like I kind of made fun of like, oh, the Black Ops way. But the developer has a point. Like, how are you going to take this, make it your own, put a different spin on it so that it's not like, oh, we're just copying Fortnite and bringing it over here. And the thing that I love that does that is the not just the old maps and putting those into it, but having it to where, oh, you want to have a vehicle that you can drive around in, like a military Jeep, you can do that. If you want to go on foot, you can do that. You want to fly a fighter jet, you can go ahead and do that, or a helicopter.
You want the RC car?
You want the RC car, or if you want to do it on sea, like, it's going to be interesting to see where the battles happen, if it's in the air, if they go by just land of normal foot movement, and how many people take advantage of that sea aspect as well. And
yeah, really.
The sea one's kind of the question to me, because
how does that work out?
If it's in like a river, then it's like, okay, well, you're isolated to that one area for the sea part of it. The question that I have, though, is how are they going to do? Are they going to do the same thing of the storm, where it's like, all right, eventually this circle is just going to get smaller and smaller to where we just put you in one location? Or are they going to be bold and say, nope, you get to use the entire map? Because I'll tell you, that'd be stupid. Because once you get down to 3 people, I know Call of Duty players, and they'll just camp in a corner.
Yeah.
They'll just camp in a corner and nothing will get done.
Maybe as one good thing would be to as the group gets smaller in that map,
game, yeah,
the map shrinks or something like that.
Would you go with that, or would you go with exactly what Fortnite does, where it's like it's a timer, and it's like, okay, that timer, all right, the circle's moving in, all right, it's here. After another 2 minutes, okay, it's moving in, all right, it's here. And so forth until it's like a little circle that has maybe like a Nuketown-esque circle to where it's like, okay, then those players can be in this one map. And now it feels like a regular Call of Duty map because we put in aspects of other Call of Duty maps and we put the circle down so small to where it's like, it's just a normal Nuketown. Like, all right, now you're just playing a normal Nuketown.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm kind of saying, is it just... Now, what if you're outside of that circle in Fortnite? What happens to you?
You die.
You just die.
So eventually, in Fortnite, people can correct me because I haven't played a ton of it.
I haven't played it at all, so that's why I'm asking.
Is in Fortnite is, let's say the barrier's coming to me.
Yeah.
If it passes me, you don't die immediately. You take like a tick, like a damage over time, and if you don't get out of it, you're dead.
So yeah.
So eventually, it'll kill you.
You're dying.
Yeah.
It's just you need to get into that circle. Okay.
And the one thing that Fortnite does that I liked when I played it was it'll show you where the current circle is, but then it'll also show you, all right, this is where it's going to shrink to. So like when that timer gets down, I can know, all right, I'm not going to play with that. I'm going to get into this circle. I'm going to make sure I'm in here so I don't die.
Yeah.
I like that, like, I get what they're doing, too. They're trying to play to the audiences of, oh, we're going to have old maps in there, play off nostalgia. You get to play as these classic characters that you know.
Get all the weapons of all of it.
All the weapons of old, the RC car that people liked. They also didn't just announce the Battle Royale mode, Johnny. They also announced the one game mode that everybody loves.
Zombies.
And that's zombies. And here, I got a little bit to read about this now. And Activision announced a ton of new details about the game. Along with Blackout, the publisher talked a lot about the new Zombies campaign, which is set across 3 unique maps. And it's not in this one. I got to click the zombie one. Let's see. Activision, blah, blah, blah. In Zombies, 4 characters travel through time to battle an evil cult. While killing hordes of the undead along the way, it's set across 3 unique missions, each with its own map. The 9, Voyage of Despair, and the Blood of the Dead. The 9 will take place in a Roman battle arena where players must fend off zombies and special undead enemies using swords, shields, axes, and spears. Voyage of Despair takes place in an ill-fated Titanic that's teeming with zombies. Blood of the Dead is something of a throwback mission with references to classic maps from previous Black Ops games. The mode also contains Zombie Rush, with Activision says is a simplified version of the traditional zombie mode. What do you think of this change for zombie? It looks like they're taking the zombie mode and flipping it on its head almost.
It's interesting. I really like the battle arena one.
I thought you would.
That looks really cool.
The thing I love most about that one, it's not like, hey, you're in a Roman arena and you still have guns. No, we're giving you swords and shields.
We threw you back in time.
Exactly.
Have fun with that.
Have fun with that hand-to-hand combat with the zombie.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in zombie mode, it's just... It's only if you're it's only if you're really bad or not paying attention. Like me not paying attention where, oh shit, knife. I got to knife this zombie because I didn't watch the other door. Where this one, then the 9 is basically going to be, all right, here's your hand-to-hand combat. What are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
And how cool that's going to feel being in the thickets.
And the other part is going to be, like, you have to figure out what of those weapons you're going to be good with. Because it's not going to be like, oh, I'm pretty good with the machine gun, or I'm a shotgun specialist.
I feel like you would pick the axe.
I'm kind of maybe a shield.
A sword and shield kind of a guy.
Maybe. I don't know. I have to see which one I would be, because I got
like. Is it going to be a two-handed axe? Will it be a one-handed axe?
I have to
double
see
axes.
I have to see what the game mechanics exactly play along with that, because that's what's going to play into which kind of weapon I can use.
Well, and that's another thing when we talk about weapon mechanics, like with the axes. Let's say they're two one-handed axes. Is it just going to be you're hacking and slashing, or is it also going to be there's an option to I'm going to throw my axe at you? But in order to get it, I have to run over, pick up the axe. Kind of like the throwing knife.
Yeah.
I can throw my throwing knife at you, but in order to get that throwing knife back, I have to walk over and pick up the throwing knife.
That'd be an interesting concept
The one
too.
I'm excited about is the Titanic one.
Yeah.
That's the one, I want, being on the Titanic with zombies.
Is it bad I want to hear, like, the Titanic theme in the background as I'm playing?
My heart will go on. Doo-doo-doo. As you're just clips just coming off the gun. I think somebody's going to do that. Somebody is going to do that. Here's my only worry with zombie mode. Like the Battle Royale mode, I feel has a little bit more playability, but with zombie mode, I wonder, and this is this could be a different topic for another day, but I'm still going to bring it up. Have we hit the point yet where it's basically like, are these changes, because they are different than traditional zombie mode?
Yeah.
But have they done enough? And of course, I know we haven't seen it, but has this done enough, do you think, to the hardcore zombie person is going to be all in? But like the person like me, who's mostly a traditional multiplayer kind of a guy, will it be enough to make me not go, play Titanic, play the 9? Okay, that was cool. Right over to Blackout and traditional multiplayer.
I mean, what's the difference for them? They're making the money either way. You're buying the game. If you play those parts, that's on you. If you're utilizing your whole game.
I guess my question is not necessarily on their side, just in general. Do you think that this will be enough changes in new blood to kind of, how do I want to say this, kind of revitalize the zombie genre in Call of Duty? Because I feel like, and maybe this is just me, it came out, boom, first right away with I think it was World at War. Everyone's like, oh my God, zombies, you got to play zombies. And now every single game has had zombies to where almost like zombie fatigue, almost, where it's like, all right, another zombie mode, to where apparently, like, some people might be like myself, all right, it's got a zombie mode. Like the last game, didn't touch zombie mode. Didn't touch it at all. I just played straight multiplayer. I played straight multiplayer, touched the campaign a little bit because I was going to stream it, and then I'm like, nah, I'm not going to stream it because I didn't have the time. But do you think this is enough with the 9 Titanic to kind of maybe end that little zombie fatigue that I think
so, because they're changing it up quite a bit, especially when you're throwing in melee weapons as opposed to strict melee weapons.
I can't wait for it.
As opposed to the same thing of gun and shooting everything. And then the Titanic, it sounds like it's going to be less of the like the last time I played zombies was when you're in that one room and you have to keep putting the boards over the windows and
dunk, dunk, dunk.
Yeah, and then you have to
hold square.
Yeah, and you have to keep building up the windows, and you have to run to the next one and do the same thing. And as they tear the other one down, it's like, God damn it, I just built that. And then so it sounds like it's going to be more like running around the map a little bit more.
And also,
for Titanic,
I should add this in. I don't know how much this changes the answer, adds to it. In an effort to keep the game feeling fresh, zombies will feature seasonal events called callings. Additionally, it will have daily, monthly, and yearly events. It will also have various difficulty levels, complete with easy to hard challenges. I see that, and I just go, all right, you're taking the Overwatch thing.
Yeah.
You're taking the Overwatch seasonal thing, which, I mean, the thing with that is that really going to, like, help fatigue? Because right now with Overwatch, I know you play Overwatch a lot, but I know, like, for me, now compared to 2 years ago, even a year ago, I'm not as hardcore Overwatch as I used to be. And I'm seeing, and this is a topic for a different day as well, but I'm seeing a lot more videos of like, oh, why I quit Overwatch, why I'm not like video game streamers, why am I not playing Overwatch as much? So, I mean, even with seasonal events, you can still have fatigue in a game mode. The last thing I'll ask you about this is with zombies, with the Battle Royale mode, with more information about that, does this change anything in your mind about what we talked about last week? Because this game for sure is not going to have a story mode.
Yeah, it still kind of makes it hard for any people like me, story mode players.
Because you like the story mode.
I like story modes. I like not having to rely on everyone. I like not having to deal with a lot of people.
If I don't have to deal with anyone, I am fine with that.
That's fine. But at least like that, what's the arena one called? Royale?
The 9?
The 9. That one kind of at least kind of plays
You're
into...
talking about the zombie one.
The zombie one, yeah.
The 9.
At least that one kind of plays into the idea. Like, maybe I have to deal with... Like, not deal with. It's kind of a mean way to put it. Maybe I only have to rely on 3 other people then. Unless I get computers to do it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that one works yet. But that at least kind of plays a little bit into it. It gets me... Maybe we'll pull people like me in.
Yeah.
Or the Titanic one.
Well,
it's kind of a campaign in a sense, but it's not.
And I mean, at
least from what the gameplay looked like.
I'm gonna cite these stats because they did the work for it. I just fucking listened to their podcast. But the guys at Kinda Funny Games Daily, they did a little thing on one of their shows where they talked about like the stats of single player games, and it blew my mind that the last Call of Duty game, the ratio of multiplayer to campaign were 2 multiplayer for every 1 story person. And then like another game like the Arkham Asylum and Arkham City games, there was about, I think they said 60% of people got to like the halfway save point of 50% complete with the game, which that to me, or I think they were saying 50% through the story, because if it's 50% complete, that to me is like, all right, I don't really like take that into consideration, because you can play the main storyline all the way through in Arkham Asylum and still be at like such and such complete, because there's so many side missions that you had to do. I would expect that people on that one play the main one, don't do all the side missions if they just want the story of the game. But the last thing I will say about the single player thing is that, let's see, Activision also revealed that Black Ops 4 won't have a traditional single-player campaign. Rather, the game will feature solo missions that focus on each of its specialist characters. So in multiplayer, you'll have your own set of missions that you have to do, but after playing the last one, that's not a single-player campaign. That's not a story mode. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. It's still going to sell ridiculously well. Like, just not having a story mode is not going to be like, man, I'm not getting that.
Not going to break it.
I think they're playing to their audience. 2 to 1 are playing multiplayer. Really, it's like, yeah, there's that one, but let's be honest, that one probably also plays multiplayer as well.
Yeah,
so he or she is still gonna buy the game. Any last thoughts before we move on into Batman?
No, most thing I'm excited about is Royale. Or not Royale.
The 9.
The 9, thank you. I keep wanting to call it the other thing.
Well, when I get the Black Ops game, we'll play the 9.
Sounds great.
We'll put that controller in Johnny's hand so he can go back to the Roman Empire and kill some zombies in Roman Empire, because that's the other thing that I'll mention really quick right here at the end. It's not just zombie fatigue, I think, with Black Ops. It's the whole thing. Walking Dead isn't like, it doesn't have the ratings it used to have. You have Nazi zombies, the spin-off with The Walking Dead. It's a lot of zombie culture. Fear the Walking Dead, thank you. There's a lot of zombie culture, I feel like, is a pop culture if we're getting zombied out a little bit right now.
It seems like it.
But we will see. Well, that'll be another 3 topics in this that could be topics for another day. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you guys think down below about Battle Royale, Blackout, and Black Ops 4. What you think about the new zombie mode, and what are your expectations when you finally get your hands on this later this year. I think it's going to come out in the fall for 2018.